Hi there. Welcome back to Hauer Power's YouTube channel. My name is Trevor, and this is Ryan Hauer, the owner of Hauer Power Electrical in Edmonton, the #1 electrician in the city. And today we're going to be sharing a little bit of a story about a brand new house that kind of had some electrical issues right off the hop. And we're just going to dive into it. So tell us a story, Ryan. What happened with this new house? First of all, is this like a lower level house, or is this like an expensive house?
Yeah, no, good question. It's it was an expensive house. 1.5 million was their purchase price of this home. Walking up to it, beautiful house. And we got really called out because they had a bunch of lighting issues, flickering lights.
Okay.
And the main thing that stuck out to me was they would dim down their lights and the microwave would kick out of power. And it wouldn't kick out immediately, but if they were running the microwave at the same time that these lights were dimmed, then the microwave would kick out. 100% microwave wouldn't kick out. 0% microwave would kick out. So
okay, that's weird. So yeah, that gives me suspicion. It's either like a grounding issue or a neutral bar issue. Like something weird's going on. What happened there?
Yeah, definitely relates to grounding and neutrals. At the end of the day, just about everything in our troubleshooting world seems to go back to the neutral and the grounding. If it doesn't have a path back to Earth, then it's got to find a different path back, and it won't necessarily be the best way, and it might go through other electronics.
So what other issues were they having that kind of gave you a big question mark in your brain?
Yeah, they had other issues in the sense of lots of other circuits losing power. So a mini fridge downstairs, this other microwave was upstairs in their kitchen. Also, they had lighting in their pantry, issues with that. So they had plugs and lights all over that were kind of losing power intermittently. And he had put in a bunch of these dimmer switches that they got from, I shouldn't say the name of the business, but it's a great company. Yeah, they have great products. And I don't even know if these dimmer switches were really so bad, but that combined with a few other things really punched it. So they had a ton of arc fault breakers, about 20 arc fault breakers in a 30 circuit panel.
Okay, so 2/3 of the panel is arc fault breakers. Is that normal?
No, it's not really normal. You do need arc faults for a lot of circuits. Anything 20 amps or less, 120 volt or less, and there's a lot of exceptions, but at the end of the day, if you fail an inspection because you don't have enough arc faults, then what you might do to be sure, rather than taking the time and tracing out, is you might just blast a ton of arc faults in there just to shotgun solve it, and on your way. A little expensive.
Yeah, a little bit.
Some of those breakers can be $100 a pop, but it's, yeah, if it gets the inspection passed. But anyways, we reached out to the city too, because we're like, hey, where there's smoke, there's fire. And the city, they were really responsive. The electrical department at the city is great, but they said, yeah, the inspection report was a few pages long, and for deficiencies, which is pretty crazy.
That's huge.
Yeah, 3 pages of deficiencies. That's nuts. I think these guys treated that like a checklist.
I wouldn't walk away, man. Like, holy cow, that's terrible.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's not a whole lot. At that point, I think they just fixed everything they could, and then they sent in what's called a verification of compliance, meaning that an inspector never came back out to site to check on it. They just filled out this VOC saying that the master electrician responsible will take all responsibility for it. But as we all know, there's so many people that will do that work, take that responsibility, and then start up a new company, and there's not really any consequence for it. It's terrible.
Sounds to me like they had a bunch of first and second years wire this multi-million-dollar home without much oversight. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, you know, at the last multi-million-dollar home that we wired, it did have not a full page of deficiencies. It did have some deficiencies, but we made sure to fix them all, and we made sure to get an inspector back out, and then it had a free, clean bill of health, and client was happy, city was happy, we were happy. Well-built home.
So at the end of the day, what was wrong with this house? How did you fix it?
So we're still in the midst with fixing it with the homeowner because, as you know, right now it's winter. The ground is frozen. So we gave him a couple options, and the GC we were working with, the general contractor, he said, hey, you know what if we cut up the concrete in his furnace room and we add new grounding right there and then re-pour that concrete in the furnace room? So yeah, that would work fine, because otherwise we'd have to run a number 6 ground outside, and we'd have to run it pretty far because they have a lot of asphalt and paving and landscaping. So we'd have to run it pretty far to add new ground rods and not a ground plate. But it came down, it comes down to grounding and bonding. At the end of the day, his issues were resolved when we swapped out a lot of arc fault breakers temporarily, and then we can go to arc fault dead fronts and try a few options that way. But until spring, where we can fully fix the grounding issue, It just goes to show, like, if you're buying a new home or an old home, it doesn't seem to matter. But even more stress on the new home is get a home inspector to come and check out your home. Brand new problems is what it means.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was talking with Danny the other day, and another homeowner called in, and we had to laugh at this one because they bought a new home, again, north of $1 million, and their shingles, this was caught by a homeowner. Trevor, this will blow your mind.
Okay.
Their shingles were put on upside down.
Oh my gosh.
Upside down shingles. Like, I volunteer with Boys and Girls Club, and I'm pretty sure any of the littles there can tell you the right way to put a shingle on a roof. Blows my mind.
Especially because they got tabs on them. You can see the way they're supposed to go on. Like, there's only one way they go on. They only go on one way, guys.
There's a right way and a wrong way, and it's pretty clear for those. But yeah, at the end of the day, that's just it. Whether maybe the guy didn't get paid, and so he just said, hey, you know what? I'm going to be a terrible person and do it this way. Or maybe there's more to the story, or maybe, who knows, they didn't really.
They subbed out the roofing job to a crew that had never seen a roof shingle before, and they went, "Hey, let's get her done. And you just got to put these all over this roof."
When you go with the lowest bidder, you're going to get the lowest quality, and your shortcuts create shortcomings. Like, there's no end to the amount of common sense that should go into this, but it doesn't, because I get it. The developer and the general contractor, they have to make an affordable home, and we have so many new people in the country, so many people, not enough homes. We have to make affordable homes, but at what point is it more expensive when now we have to come in and roofing has to come in and all the other subtrades have to come in and do it all over again when it could have been done right the first time?
Yeah.
So they're paying 1.8 times what it would have cost just to do it right the first time.
And also, any new home has to have new home warranty on it.
Oh,
they have.
This is a whole nother video.
It's like
both of these homeowners in the north of $1 million home, they're not getting approved for this new home warranty. They lived in the house for 6 months. What
a scam.
Yeah, and the new home warranty isn't covering it. And the builders, I can't say their names, but they're running away from it. And at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything. When someone says new home warranty, take that with a grain of salt, because that's not really what you think it would mean.
Wow.
Go with reputation. If they have some great Google reviews, that tells you that it's been filtered and a lot of people have been happy with a lot of services. But if they have no Google reviews, that's like if you're trying to be a cop and you're looking for a Facebook profile, right? It's like no profile is just as good as a bad profile.
Right?
It's what it is.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy. So I'm so glad I'm not in the trade anymore, because seeing that stuff would just pop my brain.
It's so frustrating. And like, we see this $1.5 million home, and they had opportunity to do great grounding, great panel. Like, they filled the panel. The panel is full. It's tandem space saver breakers the whole way. There's not even 2 spots free by code.
Jeez, they could have put a bigger panel in there. It's a big house.
Yeah, a bigger panel is literally to the cost of the manufacturer. It's $35 more when we buy it. Yeah. And it's like, even with upcharge, maybe $40 more to the client for a 4080 panel rather than 3264. It's nothing more.
Panel, man.
Oh, it blows my mind. But at the end of the day, if you take nothing from that, get a home inspector. If it's a new home, especially, if it's an old home, it's probably been great for 50 years. It's probably just needs some touch-ups. Yeah. But brand new house, brand new problems. Shortcuts make shortcomings.
Holy cow. So there you have it, guys. Even if you have a new house, advice from Ryan Hauer at Hauer Power Electrical is to get a home inspection. And, we recently bought a home and we got a home inspection, and it was good. It was good just to open our eyes and tell us what possible issues there are. They didn't find anything super wrong with the house, which is great. But at the same time, they did highlight some things that probably could use some attention in a few years. So at least we know. At least we know what's going on with the house. So for you guys, get it checked out. Figure out what's going on in your house before you buy the darn thing. And, they'd be able to probably, they might not have caught that simply because it only happens in certain
catch this
instances, right?
Yeah. They did flag it that there's a lot of arc fault breakers. The inspector did flag that.
And that should put a question in anybody's mind saying why.
Yeah, where there's smoke, there's fire. Ask questions. And that goes to do with your home inspector too. I mean, if you're paying a home inspector $200, $300, like, think about
$400.
Yeah, if you're thinking about at the end of the day, like this grand purchase of 1.5, and you're having someone professional look over everything, like maybe throw a little bit more, maybe $1,000 or $2,000. It's actually a pretty good investment, considering like they find a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And if they're limited, again, shortcuts, shortcoming, if they're limited to 2 hours, because that's all they can make it work and be profitable, to look over this $1.5 million house, they're not going to find everything in 2 hours on a huge property like that. Yeah. So if you can maybe spend the extra money on that investment, I mean,
it's worth it.
Big time.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Big time.
Awesome. So homeowners in Edmonton and commercial people. So if you have a warehouse or a shop or any of these types of businesses, Hauer Power is the right call for you. They can come out and help with just about anything in your home or your business. They do machine shops. You guys have done medical laboratories. You guys do stuff for machine shops and as well as anything residential. Especially you guys really shine with 60 amp to 100 amp upgrades and 100 amp to 200 amp upgrades, spa packs, swimming pool installations, those types of things.
Yeah.
So I mean, they do it all, folks. There's nothing really that you could surprise them with, perhaps unless you have like 30 arc faults in your panel. That's a new one.
I'll get it fixed. Yeah, everything's a new one every day. That's the beauty of it. Yeah, doing residential, a lot of grounding and a lot of neutral issues come up. Doing commercial, our commercial clients, we love warehouses and trucking facilities and big square foot jobs, because you're going to have old stuff and it's going to need work. And for a lot of our commercial clients too now, it's nice because when they're looking at a new facility, they'll say, hey, like, this is our general plan. Can we pay you for a couple hours to come through and kind of give a general electrical layout? Because that might save us a ton more in planning. It's like, it's a good call, because otherwise if we're running conduit for 300 feet across the building, rather than maybe moving that equipment to another side close to a big panel, save them 10 grand. So a few $100, not so bad. But yeah, at the end of the day, those commercial facilities, planning is everything, especially if you're buying a new commercial spot. You need a good maintenance manager. You need a good electrician. That's where we come in. That's where we shine.
That's right. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. That's all the time we got for today. We'll see you on another video.